Hello everyone, welcome to my channel ASP.NET Core, and this is the next video tutorial of Angular movies and in the next part of movies project. And in this video I'm going to add material form field and material input for the create genres. I'm going to add a create genres, edit genres, and related to the validation rules. So for going to more details, I'm going to add some modules API related to the material. So just open your material.module.ts file, and where you have to just add mat form field module as well as mat input module, and mat icon is already added, and you know that mat error is I'm going to add in the future. Okay, so wait for some times, and I'm just going to design the create genres form. Okay, so here we have mat form field module, mat input module, and now after that you have to use that API related to the material form field and material to inputs into HTML form, like create genres form. So here you can see that material input module from Angular material input, and here I'm going to mat form field module, mat input module. Okay, so just add this in the exports. Okay, so after that you have to open create-genres.component.html file, where you have to just add material form field. You know that a material form field is with the appearance outline is looking like that. So just open your component, and where you can just search or just navigate to the form field, and where we have some form fields like that. I'm going to use outlines. So here we have a appearance outline is looking like that, with the mat form field, appearance outline, mat label, mat input, mat icon, mat hint, mat form field. Okay, so everything is clear. Now you have to just copy and paste it here. Okay, so some change in the label, that is name, and also mat input in the input box. Placeholder you want to add like enter name, and mat icon is not uses right now, so just delete it. And also mat hint is also now I'm going to use it, so just delete this. Okay, so that is the part of material input, and I'm going to add this button in the division control. So here we have a simple animated input box which is designed by material. Okay, in the next one is the TypeScript file. You have to just add form, and related to reactive forms, I'm going to add it here. So you know that a form is a type of the form group, and the form group actually initiated with the form builder. So in the constructor you have to just create a private variable related to the form builder. Okay, and create a simple form group with only the name property of the genres. So you can say this dot form equals to this dot form builder dot group, and in which you can just define the name property, and with the name property you have to just add the simple name without any or you can say that empty name. If you can take empty instead of any string values, then you can just define Okay, so in the create genres component, just create a form .html tags. So create genres form group is the form name where your input is there, like a name. So the name is form. Submit, I want to create a new method that is available on your save button, like save changes. Now close this form tag just after your division tag. Okay, and you can see just after that. Okay, so everything is clear. Now form group have a squiggly line just showing. So just remove that squiggly line just after adding the reactive forms module in the module file. So you have to add, just open app.module.ts file, and you notice that your reactive forms module is not there in the modules.ts file. So just use import and add reactive forms module. Okay, so add it here, reactive forms module. Oops, getting an error, exports the required infrastructure. Okay. It's not added in the ng module, just add in the import section. So just cut it from here and add this reactive forms module under the imports section. And you notice that it's all about everything is clear. Now your squiggly line is removed successfully. Now open, that is the create_genras.component file, and where your create_genras file is there. Now input is the form control name that is matched with your form group name, that is name. So here we have the name property inside the form builder.group. So here we have just match with this name with the form control name in the HTML file. So here we have a form control name, that is the name. Okay. So everything is clear. Now just go for the next section, and here you can see that your output is there. Now after that you have to add a new button control for the cancel. So now the class is related to the material. So mat struct button, that is the white button, you can say. If you want to put the primary color, that is the primary color, you can say that it is related to your mat struct button, that is by default is white. Okay, so in between the gap of the save and the cancel button, just you can define the CSS class after all these buttons controls. So button with the margin is 10 pixel, margin right is 10 pixel, or you can say 1 pixel, you can take it. Okay, so gap in between the two buttons. So when we click on the name property, just I want to set the validations rules in the name text box. So here you can just define the array of control. Now you can just define the required field validators. So validators colon, and in which you can just define the validators dot. Validators is types of the function and import section of the Angular forms. So validators dot required comma validators dot minimum length, you can just add it here, like mean, max, minimum length and max length. You have to add it here. Like mean is 20 and mean is 50 right here. Okay, so validators is completely valid for this line. So name star, double star you can say. So just you can see that it's an animation of the mat label and the mat field. Now just go for the next section. Here just I'm going to add mat errors, because just I want to when we click on the save button, then you can say that if you are not you can say if you are not fill the box, then you will give an error message. So if you specify the ngIf in the input control, that is not correct. So you can use mat errors right here instead of specifying the if statements. So mat error ngIf, that is expression, and in the ng expressions, so you have to say that form.invalid. Then I just want to show that message. If it is invalid, then just call this method, that is get error message. On that message, just I want to pick first of all form value by using the name. On that time, you have to get the error message dot has error. So first of all, add this method get error message and check if, or you can say the where field, or you can just assign the constant field instead of the where field. Where is the type of the things variable field. So this dot form dot get the name. Just I want to get. So this dot form dot get the name. If field dot has error is what? That is the required field validator. So required has error is required. So return name field is required. Okay. So the next thing is return empty string if it is not has an error. So you can see that when we click outside, but it's not visible the error message because it's not save right time. Or you can just change the variable instead of you can use constant instead of the variable. So now save all these files and rendered on the browser again. It's not visible, so you can save all files, save this. It's not saved actually because it's a white dot is visible in the top right side, so it's visible. Now you can see that name field is required. The proper error message will show. Okay, so the next thing is to add field has an error, that is the required, or you can say that if you want to define another error code, just write it here, field dot has error minimum length. So just define the return type, that is the minimum length is required, or you can say that name field have with the minimum length. So if field dot has error minimum length, and where the minimum length, you can say name field minimum length is 2 or 50. 50 is not a minimum length, and you can just remove that mean with the minimum length first of all, and 52 change with the 2 characters only, because the name is you can say that larger than 2 characters. So here we have the same thing, you can just do it here. So validators, name field with the validators dot required, validators dot mean is 50. Now the next thing is to do, you can say validators dot required, validators dot mean. It's not a mean actually, minimum length. Just define it, or you can say just define the max length, mean length. That is the max length is 50 is enough, but minimum length is 50 is not enough. It's not good. So validators dot mean length, just I want to define 2 characters or the 5 characters. So just define the 2 characters only, and in the get error message have field dot has error, that is the okay. Okay, the name field have minimum length is 22. Not support the single character. Name field is required. Both are the correct. And just I'm going to the next section. Create genres is right, but if you want to edit the genres, just create in the same form for the edit. Okay, so just I want to create a template for the genres. Okay, so first of all, disable that button if the form is invalid. Now generate a new form, nggc generate genras and genera dash form dash dash skip dash test. So here the genras form, just I am going to create a templates. So here we have a div class container. In the create genras component, h2 create a new genras div class container. Okay, and just I'm going to add it here container. Oops. Now just add the genras, the same thing in the genras form dot component dot html. So just here we have the form. So just create in the TypeScript the same form that is create genras we have in the TypeScript. So just, and now add the reference of the app genras form in the parent module, that is the create genras. So in the genras form we have lots of error, and in the create genras dot component we have some already created some template references. So just cut and paste in the genras form component. Okay, so you can say that export in the same copy of the create genras component.ts file in the genras form component. Okay, so you know that genras form.component.ts file we have the router, form builder, save changes method, get error message method, like that. All these are cutted from the create genras.component.ts file and add that section in the genras.form, because just I want to create a template for the create as well as edit. So here I'm going to add this line of code, because the form builder is actually create a form of the create and edit genres. Okay, so and that reference just I'm going to add in the parent class, that is the create genres, and where create genres have some clicked on the save changes button, then that reference will be moved to the child to the parent. So if you want to pass the data from the child to the parent, then you will go for the output decorator. Okay, so if you have any entries that is getting from the parent to the child, then you have to use input decorator. But on that time, if you want to create some genre like comedy and drama, just pass that reference from child to the parent component. So everything is okay, because just move from the create genras.component.ts files from to the genras.form component. Okay, so everything is clear. Okay, now the next thing is create genras component, and here we am going to add ng on it, because implements with the on init hooks, lifecycle hooks. So here we have, you can say that genres is there, create a new genre just when we click on the cancel button, and here I'm going to add a name. Okay, and everything is clear. Now just I'm going to save, just I want to call the save method. So in the genres form, when we click on the button save, that value will be moved to the parent. So if you want to pass the value from child to the parent, first of all create a model, and you know that model is already created on that time index. So here we have export index genras interface. So here I'm going to add output decorator right here in the genras form. So output decorator with the on save changes property, that is type of event emitter, and event emitter is the type of create genras. Okay, can create genras DTO. So is the type of output decorator. Just update the import interface by using the control dot. On save changes we have the event emitter create genras. Create genras DTO equals to new create genras DTO. Okay, so you can do it yourself, and if you like this video, please subscribe my channel and also share this video if you like this. And don't forget, please subscribe and also press the bell icon. And if you like this video, please hit the like button. And you can say that here we have a output decorator on save changes event emitter with the type of create genras DTO. So equals to new event emitter create genras DTO, and you can say that in the save changes method, just I want to get the file, and what is the where the file, that is the form. Okay, so just I want to pass that emits the form, and what is the form, that is the create genras DTO. So this dot on save changes dot emit, and emit is what, that is this dot forms, this dot form dot value, and it's the type of create genras DTO. So in the create genras DTO, here we have a output decorator, so on save changes with the save changes method with the type of $sign event. Event is a type of object that get the object, that is the type of create genras DTO. So in the save changes, you have to create a save changes method. In this method, just I'm going to catch the create genras DTO is the type of create genras DTO. Okay, now just console.log, and what's the value inside in the create genras DTO, you just get on the console. So here we have a constructor, you know that so genras form.component.ts file is there, and in the create genras in on save changes, just I'm going to use constructor to navigate that with the main genras or the index genras. So just I'm going to add a router, and console.log, first of all this dot create genras, or just directly printed create genras DTO, and by using the router dot navigate, just move to the man index page. So this dot router dot navigate with the main genras. So thank you guys for watching this video, and keep watching all other videos which is related to Angular and movies projects. Thank you very much for watching.